sixth largest producer of chemicals in the world, an industry that is estimated at $178 billion, growing at a CAGR of 9.3%. And this is driven by a demand for specialty chemicals and petrochemicals. And now with China seeing a downturn over the past couple of years due to stringent environment norms and total capacity shutdowns, India is well positioned to become a replaceable export market for the globe. So what does an industry so well poised for growth want from the government and from the upcoming union budget?
I put this question to chemical industries who operate out of Maharashtra's industrial belt of Khopoli.
First would be our infrastructure. Our infrastructure cost compared to anyone else in the world is up by good 2 to 3% of our total cost. So infrastructure is the basic problem that we are facing as a country. The government is trying to do its bit, but yes, we have a long way to go on the infrastructure.
The big and small industries alike in the chemical space, be it exporters, be it importers, we are all facing a global shipping crisis at the moment. Containers are not available, shipping rates have skyrocketed. I believe if the government can somehow strategically intervene, that would really help Indian industry to engage in long-term contracts across the world, which today everyone is shying away from because of the unpredictable freight rates.
The chemical industry is also asking for an easier, faster and a more stable regulatory and compliance environment. Incentivizing exports, they say, is also imperative.
We as a chemical industry, in our export we had an MEIS support of 2 to 3% in the exports we are making. Suddenly it was stopped. In very few chemicals, you have a 0.6 from that 2 to 3%. So such changes which are drastic in nature does affect the industry as a whole. So basically if we have a 5-year vision in place and if the industrialist knows what is coming in their way with no major changes, no backward penalties coming into place, then we would grow as a country.
India being a net importer, we need to protect and promote our exports. So export incentives need to be, I'd say, better documented and made more inclusive so that SEZs and EOUs can also be included in the same.
Like every other industry, rising input costs and a shortage in raw materials has caused quite a bit of bleeding. With working capital already stretched, manufacturers hope the government will consider further rationalization in the duty structure and some reduction in the duties on key raw materials like naphtha.
Raw materials like, for example, crude oil has, I think, gone up by 60% since its last dip and in a very short time frame. A lot of derivatives and feedstock depend on this commodity. So we just need an injection of liquidity in the system to get the wheels moving again at a faster pace.
Better infrastructure, smoother logistics, fiscal incentives that help manufacturers enter and strengthen their presence in new growth areas and improve operational efficiencies are the top of the wish list for this sector. Manufacturers add that the extension of the PLI scheme to cover more chemical segments could be just what the doctor ordered to propel the Indian chemical sector to a $300 billion industry by FY25.